Well, hi, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me in my shop. Today I'm going to be starting the alignment process. I don't know how far I'll get through it. Maybe I'll get through the entire thing. Who knows? The first part I'll be starting with is the AM IF alignment. I'll get things set up for that. So what makes today special is, oh my god, it's snowing outside again. Just a little bit, but that's just enough to depress my cats, my poor cats. So we're going to want to feed the signal generator signal. Well, I'm going to feed it right into the antenna. Just going to figure out which is grounded. There we are. Okay, just as I thought. This is the signal generator signal here. It's set to 455. You might read 453 or 454 over here. My frequency counter's off by just a little bit. Feed this around. So we're going to feed the IF frequency into the antenna in the hopes that, and I'm pretty sure, some of it is going to make it all the way to the first tube. Okay, now we're going to be adjusting these upper four slugs. I need some I need this guy here. Yep, right in, no problem. Okay, I'm going to be reading the resulting signal strength here on this meter. This meter is connected to the speaker voice coil. Just waiting for that to pop up. There we go. Okay, and we need to run this radio for a little bit too. So I should really turn it on. Broadcast. Sounds like some strange spaceman talk. Okay, we'll go over here where it's quieter. I actually do want a fairly quiet spot. That's good. That's a good spot. Now, if I had enough signal, we'd be hearing the 455 coming out of here. Why are we not hearing it? Got lots of signal on. So it's possible these radios that there's a first let me turn this right up. There's a filter. I forgot the word for it. It's a trap. There's a trap filter in here trapping 455 kilohertz. So it may be tough to push this through and get it to come out. Just means we need to add more and more. Strange we don't hear it now. Let me change the frequency over here a little bit. Aha. So we hear it at 460. Now, I'm pretty sure it's 455 in this radio. So sure, I'm going to look at the schematic here very quickly. Just see if it doesn't come right out and say it. It could be 460. Okay, so I don't see it here. Took a bit of hunting, but here on this document, which is everything's in German, of course, there it is. 460 kilohertz. So 460 is the proper frequency for this radio. Okay, so we'll set this to 460. Okay, So that's going to be 460. Still hear it. It's good. Now, you want to check to make sure this meter is reflective of what we're hearing. So I'm going to change the modulation level on the signal generator. Try not to get in front of the camera here. Yeah, definitely. Okay, that's good. And just give it a touch more volume here. Almost no volume. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Can't do that. That's about the weakest we can put in there. There we go. Just trying to make the meter go as high as possible. Okay. There. Trouble with my tool. There we go. There we are. So that's the AM IF alignment done. So I think we should just move on to the FM alignment, IF alignment. So I'll get things set up for that. Okay, so it's basically the same type of operation on the FM side, but I'm feeding the signal in differently. Instead of going in through the antenna, it's going in through a sleeve. This is a metal sleeve here. I'm just putting over top of the FM too. The sleeve is insulated, so it doesn't ground out. That's the hot lead from the signal generator here, which is now set to 10.7, nearly so. Okay, so we're going to switch over to FM here. Okay, and a little bit of volume. You can hear the tone. Now, arguably, you shouldn't be able to hear this tone. That's an AM tone being heard through an FM receiver. Well, it's also tuned into a station here, so we're going to tune it away. No station, best I can tell. Now we're going to vary this frequency and see what the receiver is really reacting to here. Well, that seems awfully messy to me. Now typically this is not done by listening to the speaker. Because there shouldn't be any signal coming out of the speaker if you're feeding in an amplitude modulated signal. Let's just go through it anyway, and then we can always set things up better. So this meter's probably reacting to the hiss more than anything. Let's find out. Turn it way down. Tone doesn't even matter. Now this is really not the way to do this. Oh my gosh, how come it's totally washed out? Still washed out. my camera. But you can see the pointer. That's all that really matters. I only do these three. I don't think I'm doing it in an appropriate way. Okay, and then the last two to adjust are right up here on the antenna box. And this is the output transformer. One side is here. This is not the way to do this. We'll have to do it properly next. I'm just peeking up the hiss. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm not supposed to do it like that. The reason I'm doing it this way and not following the instructions is the instructions are all written in German, and I'm not so sure I'm going to be able to figure them out. Most of this I'm experienced with anyway. I don't really need too much instruction to do this. Hey, let's see. We got the FM antenna plugged in. Take this off. What do we got here? Sounds great. So there was one adjustment I didn't make, and that was this last one here. This adjustment is different from the others. The others are just peaking up the signal. This one is trying to land the signal in the in a curved response in the flat area, the center of the flat area of a curving response. Something, I'm just making this up, just to give an explanation. So if it's a little high or a little low, you get distorted sound, a little like what we were hearing. The other thing about these radios is they have to be tuned very, very carefully to the station you're listening to. The more modern FM radios have a circuit which pulls in the station. So when you tune close, it kind of pulls it in, and there you are. Automatic frequency control. That's just so common in modern radios, it's not even talked about. But at this time, it didn't exist. So you had to tune the radio in very, very sharply. Otherwise, when you're ending up on this curve, you're not tuning it to the center point. You're tuning it somewhere down in here, and you're going to get the distorted sound. Something like that's going on. That's a way to look at it anyway. But I think I can only do this if I have equipment connected properly and I'm monitoring the correct voltage, which I'm pretty sure is simply the diode voltage produced at the detector. And I can monitor it on a vacuum tube voltmeter, no problem. And then we would just repeat this FM process again and see what we get. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to try to figure out where would I hook up a meter to monitor the diode DC voltage output from the FM detector. So the great thing is this radio comes with a magic eye. A magic eye is basically reading the AVC voltage all the time. So this is perfect. We'll just use this as our guide while we do these adjustments. Again, I don't need to hook up another meter or something like that. And I have a view here where you can see the radio, and you can still see up there the magic eye. Good. Okay, so I don't have the input signal fed in right now. We'll tune to a station and make sure the eye is doing the right thing. Don't know what that is. Not picking up much. How come? How come they're not picking up much? What happened? Something funny happen here? What happened? It was just working a moment ago. Okay, is it the push button? Don't think so. I didn't change the angle, the antenna's still in. Took this off. Well, we can't align a radio that's not working. What happened to it? And it's picking something up. But no stations. Is it just because I shoved the... I didn't really move this. Okay, let's move this around a bit here. Okay, so what we want to do is just make sure the eye is responding the way you would expect it to. So we're going to tune in this station. Oh, not responding that way. Where'd it go? Something more going on here. Okay, we're going to go on the basis that the radio is not aligned properly, and that's why it's receiving weakly. You can see how directional the antenna is in this radio. So I'm going to fit this in now. This has got 10.7 on it. I'm going to put it on the tube. You can watch the eye vary here. It's very hot. Ooh, it's really hot. Nothing too exciting there. Let me just tune the radio away from any stations. Okay, let me vary the strength being fed to the radio. Okay, there we are. I vary it this way. Very good. Okay, so it's responding. That's perfect. That's enough. And we'll go through all the alignment steps again. And we'll keep an eye on the magic eye while I do it. We're on 10.7 exactly. Okay, there we go. Watching that eye. I'm going to move the camera right up against it. really get a close look at it here. Just bear with me a moment. Do. Okay, back to what we're doing. First slug. Right there. This next one. Okay, now we do the last two up on top here. Don't fall over. Okay, and then this one. This is the primary and secondary of a transformer that feeds the output of the tuner into the rest of the radio. There we are. Now, did that make a big difference? I can't imagine that made a big difference. That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, but there's more alignment to do. Yeah. This is unnerving. You'd like it to get better all the time. But next thing we want to try is we want to go back to broadcast. Where'd my block of wood go? Well, doing an alignment is an iterative process. You kind of have to go over it and over it. Seems like the AM-IF alignment is fine. The FM one I'm not sure about yet. There is a last adjustment that has to be made under, usually under a special test setup. All written in German, I suppose, if I look at the documents. And even the alignment I just did, the FM. Oh, let's get this off here. Oh, that might be why it wasn't receiving well. Let's go back and find out.
Free young and free where you are. Hey, it's Steve Jones. We've been having a lot of fun in the Wilderness Adventure Contest. We've got some special trips on the line here. 2 winners of mini family. And I have a bit of a manipulator for a bunch of reasons.
Yeah, it still seems very weak on FM, but there's a lot more alignment stuff to do up here yet. On the AM side, there's a pile also of RF adjustments. All these in here. So again, no English instructions, but I think I know my way around on these. Break time while I think things over. Decide what I'm going to do next. Okay, let's see if I can get through this without actually knowing any German. So, here's our instruction sheet. 460 kilohertz. This is all about setting up the signal generator. Here it's talking about a 200 picofarad and a 400 ohm resistor, so that's a dummy antenna. The word antenna there. And it talks about the ECH81. Not exactly sure why it's mentioning this tube. Output, something or other, something or other, something or other. Okay, next part. The Mittelwelle, Lange Welle, Kurzwelle. So I think this is medium wave, long wave, and short wave, I believe is what this is talking about. So medium wave, something something 515. Und Sieger auf Endmarken just darin. Endmarken. So this, I think what they're saying is dial the radio to 515 and you should be at the end mark. This is to check the dial precision here. So I've actually got the radio tuned there already. If you look very closely, you can see some little marks right here. There's one here. They're right on a line. There's one down there. Little marks. That's the end marking. So this should come over and the pointer should line up on the end marks, which it more or less does. Very close. Good. Okay, that's step 1. Well, that should be right. It should have been done in the factory. It shouldn't have changed since then. Okay, come on. Camera, you gonna focus for me? Next, so what's next? Okay, so that's 515. Next thing it mentions is 555 kilohertz. Oscillator A and whatever that is, C. So A and C are adjusted at 555 kilohertz. A is the oscillator. A and C, right? So this is a diagram showing the outline of these, all these coils in that. So I want to find A and C. So there's A, and that's C right there. A and C. So we'd set everything up for 550 kilohertz and adjust these two, one of them being the oscillator, A being the oscillator. So I think in this radio, these are all oscillators. And these are all RF adjustments, but that's just my thinking. We'll just keep going through it here. Okay, A and C. This looks like A and K. There's C over there. A and C. A and C. Okay, that's where we're going. That's where we're going next. Okay, pretty close to getting tricked here. So holding this like this is tricky because it's actually upside down from the way the radio is. You see the white push buttons? That's these guys. So I got to turn upside down. German and upside down now. The next thing is, the big thing is, look at the band selection here. Is FM, shortwave, medium wave, long wave. But the band selection on this radio is FM, shortwave 2, shortwave 1, broadcast. There is no long wave. These button positions are shifted over one. The buttons generally line up with the coils up here. So I think I'm going to have to kind of follow this guidance loosely while figuring out for sure which are which in this particular radio. Now they happen. They don't happen. I was going to say they happen to match up, but they don't. Like for instance in the KW, the short wave one in here, it's just blank, but not blank here. So I think this would be AM, shortwave 1, shortwave 2, and then all the FM stuff is happening up in this box here. That's how I would figure it. It looks like these are all oscillators. Don't know what's going on in the back for sure. Maybe I read some more German here, I might figure that out. So the trick here is you got to get everything right, but you got to get the right control. If you turn the wrong control at the wrong time, you undo any alignment you've already done because you accidentally turned the wrong band. And you may not even realize you're making a mistake when you make it, which is the worst of them all. So if I follow this loosely, then A and C are hard to believe. C is easy to believe. A? Well, because on the other radio, this band is long wave. But in this radio, there is no long wave. This has to be here and here. Okay. I think I got it. Let's turn everything back on here. Let the radio warm up. Now we're going to rely on both the magic eye and this meter. And so we want to start this off at 550 kilohertz. 550 kilohertz here. I'm going to calibrate the signal generator. Okay, calibrated. 555. Again, this frequency counter reads a little low. .50. Maybe I need to hook it up first. Hook up the antenna here. Well, wait a minute, we're doing the broadcast band. So I'm going to do a loose coupling. Okay, got the FM antenna mixed in here. The reason the radio got louder there was the volume control got bumped during that. What's going on here? The wire came off, I bet. No? Why is this up so high? That's right, it's way high. You've shoved the radio in so far it's making a short in there of some sort. Yikes. Case. Must be I can't see it, but one of the voltmeter clip leads has come off. Pull the radio out a bit here. Okay. There we are. That's better. Yeah. Okay, back to what we're doing. Tuning to 550. Lots of weird stuff going on. Didn't hear the signal generator at all. So we'll give it a little more oomph. There's no modulation on the signal generator. How about that? Where are you? Am I on the right band? Broadcast? Antenna? Connected? Going? 550? Oh, let's go higher. It's right there, but it sounds like there's no modulation. Why no modulation? Something a little wrong with my signal generator here. Once again, there's no sound coming out because there's no modulation here, even though the modulation meter is up at 30. I think there's something going wrong in there, but now we're cooking with gas. Okay, we've got the tone. Yeah. Okay, is it the tone that's showing on the meter? Yes, it is. Exceptionally weak. Well, that's kind of weird. Tuning it in two places. Very strong signal. Let's turn it back. I still see two peaks. Oh, it's quite. I never looked at the magic eye. It's very apparent on there. Is that the signal generator or is that some noise coming through? Noise. So we're going to do this just off 555 because there's a signal here. We'll watch the magic eye. And we'll tune here. In this dead, relatively dead area. Now, we're no longer at 55. We are at 550 rather. We are at 560, I would say. 560. Okay, let's see what that looks like over here. That's a lot better. Too much signal still. .572. So between 550 and 6, 575 would be in the middle. So this is off by quite a bit. I'm pretty sure that would qualify as 560 there. good straight on look at it here. There's a little mark there for the 550, a little tiny triangle. But I can't use it because I'm better off over here. So I'd say 5, 50, 60, 70, 80, 96. So I'd say really, if this should be 560. Okay, well, we're going to make it 560. That's what we're going to do by adjusting these guys up here. Now we got to figure out which is which. .566. Pretty close. Okay, my best guess is going to be just picking the tool here. This guy. Set this to 560. And we're going to set this to 560 as best I can. There's that weird clicking that I get here. So I think that's 560. Okay, we're going to turn this till we hear the tone. We don't. This is not an oscillator. Now we're just guessing. The low end of the band. There we are. Stronger signal. Now. I used to get the meter right behind the screwdriver. Now it's picking up, so we're too close to some sound still. Let's put it right in the middle. 650. And so that should be 575. This is better. Much better. I'm watching the magic eye. There we are. Okay, for what it's worth. 575 coming in where 575 is. Very good. Now we have some other adjustments here. And this one here. Seems to be a peak. Put it right in there. And we have these two. So some of these should be adjusted up at the other end. Is it this one? This one. We'll go up to the other end. They'll have a standard frequency they want you to use. So you may have to play you something. What do they tell you? 1480. $14.80's marked. There's a mark there. It's quiet. Okay, 1480 it is. We'll dial up to 1480. Wow. Probably because of my fiddling. Assume this is an oscillator, and we want this to be at 1480, so I'm going to raise this up. I have to figure out which way to turn this. $14.40. Wow, what's happened? Too far. Okay, tuning this in now. Setting the level so I can see the eye properly. Bit of noise there now. I think we've raised the sensitivity of the radio quite a bit by getting everything lined up. What about this guy? Let's just go to a quieter spot here. Okay, now tune it right in properly. There we go. What do we got for a radio now? So there's a French station located at 860, right in this area. $850, so it's just very, very close to where it should be on there. Not quite on the money, but pretty darn close. So now, we'll just swing the antenna around a bit. Okay, now I'm going to do a little touch-up, the non-oscillator adjustments. Wow. So this slug in this coil was way up at the top here. And you see there's a coil there and another coil just below it here. And the slug is sitting way up in the top. What's it doing up there? They drove it all the way down until it got in between these two coils, and we got a better peak out of the radio. It's good. That's very good. It's picking up 740. Very good. 680. Like 90 or 610. Okay, this is 590. If we look now at the frequency, you say, is that where you would find 590? So this is 550, 60, 70, 80, 90. Sure. You know, maybe a little over this way. Where these numbers are do not indicate the exact tuning point. You can't tell. Like, there's a 600 here. Is it under the 6, the 0, the 0? But in between they have dots. They also have this, can you see that little symbol there? CD, Civil Defense System from the United States. This is 640. So if we go right here, could use these as tuning targets. 640. We're gonna throw in a 640 here. Right on the money. It's right on the money. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here for today. What I've managed to do is basically the AM IF alignment, which seemed to go okay. The broadcast band RF and oscillator alignment, which seemed to go okay. The FM IF alignment, which I think there's some question marks around that still, but seemed to go okay. What remains is the RF and oscillator alignment involving these for the two shortwave bands, and then a similar thing, the RF and oscillator alignment for the FM and FM. It's up in this box here. That's the plan. for tomorrow. So thanks a lot for watching, and see you on the next video.